Welcome to my live talk. My name is Edmar. This live talk is all about exploring entrepreneurship and the leadership mindset. Today, we are joined by Joe. Joe, social media marketer and entrepreneur. Welcome to my live talk. How are you today, Joe?
Hi, Edmar. Thanks very much for having me. Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm always good, especially when I'm talking to people that add value to the market, teach us what to do.
Yeah.
And young people like you, because I learned a few things about you, and we need people like you to disrupt the way society is built, to come out with new ways to start making waves in society.
Yes.
And when I read about you, I was a little bit intrigued. So that's why I decided I want you to share with us what you know and how we can learn from you and change our mindset, our idea about life and the business, special entrepreneur and the social media marketer. You know, for some reason, even being a uni, doing business, I didn't know such a word called social media marketer.
Yes.
Now it's becoming kind of like it's become trend. So it's good to have you. Then you can help us with that.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah. So as I was saying in the beginning, this live talks all about exploring leadership and entrepreneurship mindset. But before we go into technicality of the two sides, I always wanted to know who am I talking to, the man or the woman, the person behind all the success, all the work. So I've got a few questions to ask you. One of them that you are 20 years old, am I right?
Yes, I'm 20 years old. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very young, but very successful. And my second question to you is, did you go to college or university?
So I left college in 2018. I was about to go to the University of Newcastle to study international business management. I thought, I'm going to go down to uni. It's going to be the normal route, the route that everyone else seems to take. And I thought, I'm going to go there and I'm going to spend the next 3-4 years learning about business. I always had the intention of working for a big business and going that route. So in fact, it got to about a week before the deadline and I said, look, I'm not 100% ready for this. I need to take some time out. So I took a gap year. I went to Tanzania and lived there for a couple of months, and I did some volunteering and some outreach work, and then came back and started my first venture, which was called EJ Events, a private and corporate events company.
Okay. So why didn't go to university? Because the traditional way is going to university, getting job, having family, saving,
Yeah,
retiring, double retiring, and dying. So why didn't go to the normal route?
For me, it was always a case of I wanted more. I'm still nowhere near the level where I want to be yet, but I've always thought I want to do something different. I want to have a meaningful impact on the world and do something that people are going to remember me by. And that is why I did the outreach work. That is why I started a business, and that is why I want to, use business for the power of greater good and leave a meaningful impact. So I thought, the idea of working 9 to 5 for somebody else till for the next 50, 60 years, I thought this just doesn't appeal to me. Like it just doesn't. I mean, I've had a few jobs, and I just thought, is this it? Is this really it? Hence why I thought, you know what, I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to get into entrepreneurship. Yes, I'm not going to have much money initially. Cash flow is going to be tight, but I'm not going to be on the streets. I've got a very good family. So worst case scenario, I've got no money, but I'm not on the streets. So that's why I thought I'm young. I'm hungry, I'm excited, and that is why I took the risk.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good to know, and especially when you talk about traveling to Tanzania, if I'm not wrong, and which is a country in Africa that need a lot of new idea to develop, which is good. But going out from the comfort of living in United Kingdom, where we have almost everything in our finger, back there, does maybe gave you different perspective of life, which is good. It's always good to give, and the more you give, you receive more.
100%.
Yeah. So you talk about you started a company. So you were 20 years old. Then
sorry, I was 18 years old at that point. Just left college. Yeah.
Yeah, that was I was going to ask you, because 18 years old didn't start in a company.
Yeah.
That's a good move, because some of the 18 years old still trying to figure out how to look after the bedroom, and you already way ahead. No offense to no 18 years old. I was 18 years old, but I'm just speaking truth, because I've got family with 18 years old.
Oh.
And then honesty is honesty. Some of them, they still trying to figure out how to sort out the bedroom, but
Yeah.
some of them, like you, are doing very well. So did you start a business company just yourself, or with a business entrepreneurship partner? And what service the company used to offer, and how this pandemic affected all your business?
Oh God, this is a story. So I went into business with a good friend of mine. I used to play football. I used to play football with him for 10 years, up strikers together. He was always interested in business. He's a crypto trader. But at this time we were 18, and we thought, let's brainstorm ideas. So we sat in Starbucks for about 5 weeks. We had what ideas did we have? We had a shoe cleaning business was an idea. We were going to build a platform for tradespeople, and to get them kind of regulated and see what kind of tradesmen you're getting. So a bit of a matching the consumer to the tradesperson. So that was also another idea. And then we thought hospitality and events. This is something that we can start, going into the events industry. It's a service. You don't need a lot of money to go into that. So we thought, what is the thing that we can just do and get on with? And then that's when EJ Events was brought. So Elliot, obviously being the E, and Jay being Joe. So we started that business. I asked my old boss, so I used to work in a bar. I said, look, give us the space for free. And what we'll do is we'll bring revenue to your business during the week. So I think it was a Thursday or a Wednesday evening was the event. And we said, look, give us space for free. We'll bring you extra revenue. Obviously, it was quiet because it was January at the time. And we said, look, give us it. So that's how we started. So that was our first event. We must have made a modest profit of around 50 to 100 quid, so not much. But the experience of selling an event for 15 people, and it was a cocktail masterclass evening. So we brought in the mixologists, we brought in the specialists, and obviously they did the night, and then we made the markup and marketed the tickets. So that was our first experience within the events industry. And then fast forward, I would say it was probably a year and a half. We got our biggest contract to date, which was with a contract with the Royal British Legion. Obviously, as you know, the VE Day events, which was supposed to happen, were going to be a huge celebration. And we actually won a contract there, which, to be honest, was probably a lot bigger than what we were capable of doing. At this point, there was 4 members of staff, 4 of us in total in the business. So we were still obviously a new business. And this was an 8-month contract with them. And it really transformed the business. So the event was going to be on May the 6th of this year. And then unfortunately, obviously, as you know, due to COVID-19, we lost the contract, obviously, because there was no event happening. So in essence, that wiped our main revenue overnight, let's say. So we had to rethink, we had to recalibrate. We thought, what can we do now? The events industry is fucked, pretty much for the foreseeable future. So cut a long story short, we grew the business. Like I say, we did some events for companies like BT, Waitrose, Royal British Legion, Tom Kerridge. We helped out with the pub in the park. So we had a fantastic year and a half. And like I say, we had an office in Leeds, and we grew the team to 4 of us in total. So it was a lot of fun. But obviously, as you know, COVID came, and unfortunately, the business pretty much came to a halt, and then we had to part ways.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry for what happened, but I believe you already have new plan to start moving.
Yes.
So that's how it is. Usually we start, but it's not always we finish where we start. That's why we need progress. We need a new mindset. We need always reaching new vessel to continue moving ahead. But one thing that called me about you is that I read that Google, the Google company started with his best friend. Jackman for Alibaba started with his 16th friend, and Microsoft started with his friend. Yeah. And you started your business with your friend. Yeah. So my question to anyone watching us is, what are you doing with your friend? Yeah. So if you have a friend, consider them.
Yeah,
Is your friendship
100%.
bringing you revenue, bringing you change, or just friendship?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Okay. Well, that was a little bit to know more about you and what you did so far. That's good to know that you already had something, and it's not the end. It's just opening the new way for you to do new business. And I can
Yeah.
see you very active, connecting.
Yeah.
Now let's get down to what we are here for today, which is social media marketing, advertisement, energizing your business.
Yeah.
So my first question to you about ad, what is the best platform to start advertising right now under this COVID-19, under this all of this market challenge?
Yes, I would say Facebook advertising has probably never been a better time. A lot of the big companies have recently been boycotting Facebook due to freedom of speech, some sort of goings on there. So there's been a big, I mean, is it going to have a drastic effect on us as small businesses? Probably not. However, obviously the cost per result is cheaper now, obviously because there's not as many people advertising and with as bigger budgets. And obviously the world is moving online. We've seen that with COVID-19. You know, I'm speaking to business owners who are still doing direct flyering, and it's got its place, but you can get to a far wider and more targeted audience through Facebook advertising, through Instagram advertising, and even PPC. I mean, I'm not a PPC specialist. However, PPC is also very, very effective. And people just need to embrace that now, especially traditional brick and mortar businesses. If not, they're just going to get left behind.
Mm-hmm. So that's mean that Facebook is the new would use niche for an entrepreneur and a business to start looking into. So then let's talk about Facebook. Let's focus on Facebook. When you, for example, if I'm planning to do or create an ad on Facebook, what is the first thing I needed to start planning or I need to start thinking before I put an ad?
So your first thing is your campaign objective. What are you wanting to achieve? Is it to generate leads? Is it to generate app downloads? Is it to get traffic on your website? Or is it just for general brand awareness? Do you just want people to know who you are? You're not really selling anything. Be clear on what you want the objective to be. Number one. So like say, for example, for e-commerce businesses, it's always going to be a conversion campaign, because Facebook is going to find people that are obviously going to go to your website and obviously buy your products or services. Whereas if you are, let's say you want to generate leads, direct to vendor leads, for example, you would look at doing a lead generation or a messages campaign, because that is going to optimize for people who are going to direct your page.
So for lead generation, you know, all of this tech, even being a tech student, you know, but for many people out there, I was talking to someone yesterday, and I said, as a mentoring program I do, and I asked him, you have to start looking into your niche, and they asked me what is niche. So the same thing you said about like generating lead. For some people who never heard about these, so what is generating lead? So how do you do that?
Yeah, so do you mean in on Facebook or in general?
No, in fact, now let's focus on Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah. So a lead generation campaign is in essence where you would set up, let's say, an automated system through your the Messenger app. You would set up an automated system which would generate the lead. So you would ask various questions that would qualify these people. They would then answer the question, and then that would become a lead. And then obviously it's within your sales process to make sure that you're following up with the lead and then you're closing the lead. So we as Facebook advertisers, what we do is we measure it on per lead. So how many people have gone through the questions and are now qualified and ready for you to close or to sell, for example. So that is how the process would work. So they would message the page. What is it that you do? You answer the question, where are you based, etc., and then that becomes a lead for you to close. Yeah.
Okay. So when you use that, then when you have the lead, then you have a connection with those customers.
Yes, and then what you can do is you can integrate a system called Zapier, which is just like an automated system, which comes in with your CRM system. So you will get notified. You can either get notified through your CRM system that you've got a lead, or if you check the lead center in Facebook itself, you can see the lead there. So that's just personal preference.
Okay, so you're talking about creating lead, yeah. So, but for someone who is starting now, for example, let's say, assume I don't know ahead of you, and I've got my small business where I create, for example, mask for this
Yeah.
COVID protection. Then I want to advertise my business.
Yeah.
So how do I create ad that grab attention? For example, when people see that, they want to click it.
Yeah. So we follow an ABC principle. So this is all dependent in the copy that you write, in the targeting that you do, and in the images and creatives that you choose. So in essence, so we follow an ABC principle. A for attention, always grab attention. That needs to be number one. You can do that in various ways. You can do direct call out. You can do agitate and then solve, for example. B is the benefit. Don't sell the features. So many times I see people selling features of a business, but people want to know, how is it going to benefit them and their lives? Is it going to make them safer? Is it going to make them richer? Is it going to make them happier, for example? And then C is the call to action. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They have either too many call to actions. Is it to visit the website? Is it to message the page? Is it to give you a call? But be very, very clear on that. So if you are choosing a conversions campaign, the call to action is always going to be to visit the website. It's not going to be to message the page or give us a call. So follow that principle. If you follow that principle, you will not go wrong. Attention, benefit, call to action, and be super, super clear on which one of them it is that you're after. And if you follow that kind of principle, you won't go far wrong.
Okay. Well, if you just join us, watching us, we have Joe. He's talking to us everything about marketing on social media. Now we're focusing on Facebook. And if you want me to go and buy your product, follow ABC principle, because if you get me to buy your product, I'm very hard to buy any product. If you get me to buy your product, everyone will buy your product.
Yeah. There's various acronyms. People have different ones. It's just the one that we follow. They are pretty much the same. But like I say, it's all dependent on what you choose, really.
Mm-hmm. So remember ABC. I guess when you went to school, the first thing you learned was ABC. 1, 2, 3. So always remember ABC principle. I like that. Now we have a ad that grab attention with ABC principle.
Yes.
But then, how do I get the right audience? And how do I know when I'm getting the right audience? Because I might just be posting 100. I might just be posting, but I'm not having no results. So when I know my audience, and how do I know I'm targeting the right audience?
Yes. So we follow it in stages. So the way the Facebook works is you have 3 different levels when you are creating your campaign. You've got your campaign level, you've got your ad set level, and then you've got obviously the advert. And what we do is we always test in Facebook advertising. The key is to test. So that is testing different audiences, so different interests, different job roles, different circumstances. And then that's one form of testing. Another form of testing is the creative that you use. So whether you use a still photo or a video, and as we can see, video is having a lot more impact nowadays. 100%. People are just engaging more with that, so you will probably succeed more in running a very good and effective video. And then C is obviously the copy that you're writing. So what words are you choosing? Are you really resonating with the audience, or is it something that you believe resonates, but maybe it's just not hitting that way with the prospect? So this is why you would always run. I mean, we do generally, if budget permitting, we do 2, 4, 8. So we will run 2 campaigns in parallel. We'll run 4 different ad sets. So that's 4 different audiences in essence. And then we'll try 8 different adverts. That's if we've got, a big enough budget. But generally, you want to be running at least 2 of the same campaigns together at the same time, just so you can test and see what is working and what isn't. Because, for example, I'm working with a client at the moment, and we're selling serviced offices. And in month 1, we tested small business owners based in Wolverhampton between the ages of 30, I think it's like 27 to 65. And then what we found was, looking at the data, that in fact, it was generally the older generation which were more interested in the offices. And we wouldn't have known that if we hadn't have tested. So for the next month, we're going to run 2 of these in parallel and target towards more the older generation. However, we did meet the KPIs, but it's just being more effective with the older audience. So I'd say just test audiences, creative, and copy.
Okay. So you gave an example of service office. Yeah. What about for example, myself becoming property investor, in that I do have a 2-bedroom a flat to rent
Yeah,
in Leicester. Let's
yeah,
assume in Leicester I've got 2-bedroom flat,
yeah.
and what kind of word I should put there that attract people? Like, because I heard you have to use a certain type of word. You cannot just use a random word. So what kind of word that I should use to attract more people to
Yeah.
my
So
page?
I would do direct call out. I mean, like you say, in terms of the wording, I do direct call out. So listen. So let's say your target demographic is young professionals. So I'd be saying, look, all Leicester young professionals, we have X amount of bedrooms left, situated in this, this, and this. And the call to action would be to book your viewing with we've got 2 remaining bedrooms left. Call today, for example. That's what I would be doing. So really getting that scarcity in at the end, 100%.
So technically making them feel that if you don't rent my bedroom, they might not have a place to live.
Oh my God, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Okay, wow. Now, let's say I know what I want to reach in my marketing, and I create this ad that grab attention.
Yeah,
So when people click on my ad,
yeah.
they have a landing page.
That's
So what's
that's
the
it.
rule of landing page? Should
Yeah,
we be worried about landing page, or just leave it just as a normal posting random stuff on my page?
yeah. So no, always take them over to a landing page. Your landing page is tell them, what it is that you do, how you're going to do it, what some of the promotional photos that there is, and then the call to action at the end, and really take them through that journey. Just explaining what it is that you do and how they can get it. Very, very important, a landing page, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Well, someone just asked me,
Yeah.
what is landing page?
Yeah. So a landing page is just a page you simply take. Let's say, for example, from an ad. So you run an ad, you will take that person over to a dedicated page, that will explain more about what the ad is and what it does, and what they can get. So I wouldn't take them over to your general website, because chances are they're going to bounce from your website, and they might click on another page that's not really relevant to the advert, and then you're going to lose that potential sale. So it's always, so a landing page is simply, it's like a sales page. It's in essence, it's a sales page.
Okay. So when they click, instead of they going to website with more than 100 drop down, everything there, take them straight to the point where they're going to see what they're looking for.
Exactly. So a landing page dedicated for your apartments in Leicester, for example.
Okay, I've avoided distraction. That's how you get a client to book your service.
Yeah.
And now you have a landing page,
Yeah.
good landing page. What about content? What makes good content?
Yeah, so I would say for something like that, striking images and photos. People a lot of the time cut corners when they are taking promotional photos. But ultimately, we need to sell. Is it the office? Is it the apartment? Is it whatever it is you're selling? We need to invest in making it look good. Simply because if people don't like the look of it, then they're going to drop off. So really getting light, airy photos of the room, whatever it is. Really making sure that the content is good, creative, and professional. If that is the market that you're going for.
Okay. And after you have in the good content,
Yeah.
which is hard because some people doesn't want to pay for it, or it's too expensive for special business starting right now.
Yeah.
But if you manage to get yourself a good content, how
Yeah.
often should you post? Should you post like every day, or once a week, or once a month? How often should you post?
Organically or advertise, or in terms of advertising?
Well, let's talk about advertising and the organic, both of them.
Yeah, so we would run, if a campaign is working well, we would run that advert for, let's say, 30 days. After that, we would kill off the advert and create a new one. So any adverts that you do, if they are working well, obviously, just keep them for as long as possible. 30 days works well. Anything over that, and then ad fatigue starts to get in. So ad fatigue is basically when some people just scroll past your ad because they've seen it over and over again. And then obviously Facebook is still charging you because you're getting them reach and them impressions, but you're not having that impact and the leads are not coming through. But in terms of organic posting, we try to aim for 2.5 times a day. That's the average, let's say. Obviously, good quality content is better than trying to get loads and loads out there, but it's just not as being as effective. So focus on the quality of your content. So showcase the building. Get some testimonials, showcase the inside, what they're going to get, the features and the benefits, and then you won't go far wrong, and that's in any respect, really.
Mm-hmm. In terms of organic, for example, as for example, if I've got my personal page,
Yes.
then I don't want to do advertise. I don't want to do paid advertise. So in terms of organic, how often should I post?
Organically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say, like I said, at least 2.5 times, so 2 to 3 times a day if you can. Yes, that can be very taxing for people and time and respect, but ultimately the Facebook algorithm will reward you for posting engaging content. People are interested in what you're doing, what you're saying, and that will pay off in terms of getting you and your name out there to people that otherwise wouldn't see your content.
Mm-hmm. So you said it post 2 or 3 times. I'm just thinking a new investor in property, and maybe having 2 or 3 properties.
Yeah.
If Monday I post about one, and I post about location, doing advertisement.
Yeah.
How much content, like, should it be only focused on property, or you should like create content, for example, around idea of investing, giving advice? Because for someone who does not have, for example, for Rightmove or bigger name, it is easy for them because they have a lot of material to post. But someone just starting small business, how they're going to have a lot of the content to post at least 2 or 3 days, or 2 or 3 times every day?
Yeah. So what I would do is I'd be looking at what your number one, I'll look at what your competitors are doing. So how are they posting? What kind of content are they posting? Number two, find out what your aims and objectives is. Is it to build a personal brand? If so, you want to, post more about you, the behind the scenes, the journey. Is it more for you are showcasing properties that you want to either sell or rent? And then focus more on content that is reflecting that. So all depends on what your competitors are doing and what you actually want to achieve. So you need to do that from the offset. There is no point mixing it all up. If you're not bothered about attracting investors, then let's focus on promoting the properties. However, if you are just looking for investors, then we need to know more about you, your journey, your story, where you are, where you want to be, and that is ultimately how you will prevail. Super clear.
So yes, now I can see why some pages they have a mixed post or content, and another page they have a straight content about property and all of that. That's good to know. That's good to know about the property. And but now you post about yourself, about the property, or about any business you're doing. But another thing I heard is that too many people, they make a lot of mistake when it comes to posting. So what are some of the biggest mistake you should avoid when it comes to ad on Facebook?
When creating an ad?
On Facebook.
Yeah, so any Facebook ad. So number one, I would say is the copywriting is a big skill. If you've got a very poor copywriting, obviously people are reading what you're saying. They will drop off if it's not convincing enough, if it doesn't resonate. So if you do struggle with content, I would recommend looking with copywriting. I would recommend going on somewhere like Fiverr or Upwork, where you can pay someone for very, very cheap to, in essence, write your copy for you, and that copy then can be distributed according to your the different ads that you've got. So number one, copy. Number two, the creative as well. It's very, very important. We want to be posting stuff that is actually going to get engaged with, like Facebook Lives, for example, stuff like this. People engage with these a lot more than a video or just a photo that you've taken a couple of hours ago and then you post it into various groups. People do engage with live stuff, so much more, and we're seeing that. And I can only think that's going to get more as Facebook, kind of moves to more of a video sharing platform, is the way I see it. We're seeing the live capabilities that they're going to probably improve over the next couple of months and years as video content takes over. So them two. And then in terms of your targeting, that's very, very important. Do some research on who your customer target audience is. Super, super important. If you don't get that right, you will be targeting who you think is the right person, but ultimately it's not, and they're not going to buy your products or services. So test with the different with the targeting. If I could show you the way the ads manager works, you can see how detailed we can get with the targeting. So powerful.
Mm-hmm. So the secret is not what you're posting, but who you're targeting with your post.
It's a combination of all three. All three of them need to be as congruent and as coherent as possible. Because yes, you might have the best advert, the best copy, the best videos, but if you're targeting it to an audience that is literally not interested in what you've got to say an offer, then they're not going to buy from you. Whereas if you do have the spot on targeting, but the message is convoluted, then they're going to be left confused and they're not ultimately going to go to your website or to your landing page or wherever, and then you're going to lose sales like that. So it's important that you just cross-check all three of them 100%.
Okay. Well, that's taking me to reminding me of what I was talking to someone last week. Yeah. He was showing me his experience, and if he's watching, then that's going to be for him. And I did some Googling around some search. I found there's too many people face the same issue.
Yeah.
His page, he has about 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
And about 8,000 like, and the people always watching his video.
Yeah.
But he's complaining that he has a lot of followers, a lot of content, but he does not have a customer. So how can you convert your follower, the people who like your page, into your customer? What do you do?
I'll just explain how the Facebook algorithm works. So ever since, let's say, 10 years ago, the Facebook algorithm has in essence been decimating organic reach. So by organic reach, what I mean is you posting a photo out to your likes, to your followers, and for them to see and engage with it. Facebook has been reducing that to a point where now it's roughly between 2 to 3% of your entire audience will see your post at any given time. So 97% of your audience are not seeing what you're doing. And that makes you question, why is nobody engaging? Why am I not getting customers? Why am I not doing, why am I not getting these results? And that's simply because people are not seeing it. So the short answer is yes, keep posting organically, but you're never going to hit your 10,000 followers. They're just not going to see it. This is why as Facebook grows as a business and as an advertising platform, that's why they're pushing us to spend money on advertising to get out to people who are going to buy from us. So that is the short answer of it, really. It's just the way the Facebook algorithm works is it's just you're not going to target, your whole audience is just not going to see your posts, unfortunately.
Okay. So that's gives me a little bit of thinking, because if I have got massive audience, then I want to sell my product to them. Yes. Then technically I'm being forced to pay for the advertisement.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you can post organically, but they want us to spend money on the platform. Obviously, that's why Facebook advertising is so powerful, and that you can get the targeting spot on because they've invested in that, because they want us to spend money on the platform. That's ultimately how they make money. They don't really make money from us just posting organically. So that is why you might have 10,000 followers, but you might only get 100 likes. That is why even small businesses, sole traders, are advertising on Facebook, because that is the only way they can get their message out to the masses. For very little, to be honest.
Wow, there's a lot of things I learned about Facebook and advertisement, and a lot of things that we have to consider when planning to move to this digital ad, because before it used to be like a newspaper. Yeah. So whether you like or you don't like it, when you move into page 2, you have to read it. And I believe it was easy because someone used to do everything for you, but now you have to do it all yourself. So another thing is, I asked you a question close to this one, but there's an ad people write, and the Facebook reject the ad.
Yes.
So what is the issue behind Facebook rejecting an ad, and how or what you have to do to make it better, or to make Facebook accept your ad at the first hand?
Yeah, so your ad can get rejected for a couple of reasons. If it violates their community standards, so that can be in the images that you use. Some double checking that you're not violating the images. In the language that you use. So, for example, at the moment you cannot use the word COVID-19 in your copy. If not, your ad will get rejected. So always being careful in what you're saying and what image you're using. That is the way you're going to get banned, or your advert is going to get rejected. In terms of also at the moment, because before you used to be able to run competitions on Facebook as ads, but not anymore. They're getting strict on that, saying like, comment, share, subscribe. because in essence, that's not doing that organically. So if you are trying to run a competition, I wouldn't recommend doing it as an ad anymore, because chances are you are going to get banned, because you're inciting and pushing people to take action, and they should just want to do that. Obviously, if you are running like let's say an engagement campaign when you are trying to get your likes up, then that's absolutely fine. But really inciting, like, comment, tag a friend, tag a family member, avoid that. That's certainly what we're doing.
Okay. So talking about a Facebook ad, and that's your area.
Yes.
I note and I can see that you have everything you need to provide a good service for anyone who's looking for service in the area.
Yeah.
But going back to the beginning, you said the company you funded with your friend, AG Events.
Yes.
You had to go on your way.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to reach to you right now, what do you still providing service, or what do you do?
Is it for the events business? Sorry.
No, for the ad, or for anything around the advertisement on Facebook.
So do I still provide that service?
Yes.
Yes. So my company is called eGrowth Media. I forgot to mention this actually when I was in my introduction, but I work for a digital marketing company called Entrepreneur Circle. They're one of the biggest marketing training companies in the country. That is kind of how I learned, kind of, let's say, advertising and marketing. So fast forward to April. So I'm a new business. That is when I set up eGrowth Media, when I thought, right, EJ Events is going down the pan, and that company is dormant at the moment. And now I'm trading with egrowthmedia.co.uk.
So you the founder of the company, or you work for?
I am. Yes. I'm the founder of this company. I'm Elliot, my ex-business partner. He's not involved in this now. He's got his own kind of crypto trading platform, is what he does as a trader.
Okay. Well, talking to you about advertisement marketing is very good, because you know what you're doing. You can answer all the questions. You're ready to help business, and it's not just help for help, but help as a way of doing the business, a partner with company who wants to run the ad.
Yeah.
That was it was a lot of things to learn from you. But now getting back to yourself, because you said you had this first company, you went down.
Yeah.
You set up another company, and then you 20 years old, which, and I believe it's not like putting down 20 years old, but most of the 20 years old, they still at uni or live in uni or working for someone. But few like you, they move ahead and they do certain things that make them different from rest of the 20 years old I know, which indicate you're very mature in what you're doing, and you're also very successful, and they will be more successful with time. So my question to you is it what you're doing comes as a lucky, or is a result of hard work, smart hard work, talent, family education, or mentoring? What is behind all of your moves?
Couple of reasons. Number one, self-education. So it's self-education in the form of getting a job for that big marketing company. Self-education in terms of buying courses. So I've spent a couple of £1,000s over the past couple of months to learn from some of the best Facebook advert experts in the industry. So self-education, number one, and reading, and that kind of goes alongside that. So I read quite a lot. So I've read, books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, the usual ones. So yeah, definitely invest in reading, half an hour a day, 20 minutes a day. It's not a lot out of your day. Number two is mentoring. So any industry that I go into, I try to get two mentors: a business mentor and an event or a niche specific mentor. So when I was in the events industry, I had my main business mentor, a guy called Chris Henry. So Chris, if you're watching, big love. So Chris has been with me now for the past couple of years. He's in essence just given us that more holistic view of the business. And then I had an events industry mentor. So she ran a successful events company. And I just said, look, we're two young guys. We're new in the industry. What can you do? What can you help us with? And so she did, and she did help us and helped us progress the business. And then obviously at the moment I'm in a community with a guy called Jordan Platten. He's a very successful Facebook ads expert, bought his course, got him on a daily. And for me, that's been such a driving force. It's made me cut out the mistakes that they've made, and help me fast track, to obviously I'm nowhere near the level of success where I want to be. I'll be completely honest. However, I'm a lot more rounded and mature than when I was, when I started business at the age of 18. So self-education, mentoring, and number three, just being confident and knowing your self-worth. I mean, a lot of people, when they first speak to me, don't believe that I'm 20, that, they think I'm like 25, 26. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But holding your own and knowing that age is just a number. Social media is something that we've grown up with, my generation. And as we move more into the online world, it's going to be so much more in demand. Businesses, you're just not going to be seen if you don't have a good presence. You don't have good adverts, and you're not getting yourself out there in front of target people. So yeah, that's pretty much the way I've got to where I am today. And final one, networking, super important. So I met a lady called Laura Muse on a ski trip earlier this year. Never met her before. We got on well. We've just been keeping in touch for the past couple of months, and then recently we've started I'm helping her doing the Facebook ad side of things for her community, and that is purely because I met her, I built that relationship, and we pursue that going forward. And I feel like that's so important. Like businesses and property as well is a people's business. People buy people. That is just the way it is, and it's about building them relationships and nurturing them. And then pushing them forward for years and years to come. That's the way I see it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yes, maybe now I know why all of the success, all of the success, and all of the discipline. And I would advise anyone who wants to try anything in life, self-education is the solution. And there's nothing wrong with a normal traditional education, but for what I see myself and what many people I believe they don't is self-education is the way to move out of what tradition offer us. And then you talk about Laura. Yes, I had a Laura in my live talk. And when we started, and the Laura is icon. I remember my mom was watching, and she was like praising. So Laura continued adding a lot of good work to the market, property, self-education, inspiration, all of that, which is good. It's good to know that you are learning from good people, because I believe, I guess it was Laura who said that your network is your net worth. So, and as I was reading one of these days from the Bible, it said, like, if you mix yourself with a drunk, you become a drunk, and if you mix yourself with wise, you become wise. So that's how it is. So now I know your secrets, then I'm going to copy them. And we are about to finish, but I still have 2 questions for you. So 2020, COVID around, market challenging, things up and down, but still moving. So maybe in 10 years from today, what's your plan for the future with eGrowth? Is it eGrowth, yeah?
eGrowth Media, yes.
Yeah, eGrowth Media. What's your future for the plan? Continue as yourself as a only businessman, or you planning to extend and make business a scale business?
Yes, so I'm very much wanting to scale the business. I only hit 6 figures, which is a very, very big claim within a year and a half. That is my ambition for that, and bring on a couple of members of staff. But mainly the bigger vision is using this money that I get from the business, saving it and investing it into property. That is my ultimate goal, to build up my asset column. I'm super excited and also keen on doing that. So that's how I think I'm ultimately going to generate long-term wealth. Yes, the designer clothes and the cars are all nice, and that comes with the hard work. But for me, it's more about having that impact. And I said to the guys that I used to work with in Tanzania, I said, look, give me 10, 15 years, I'm going to be back, and I'm going to help make your vision a reality. Because he wanted to kind of harness the Tanzanian footballers who are very, very talented, to create like a training and academy facility for them, going forward in the future. And I said, look, we can't do this right now, but give me time and I will be back. And that's such it's a personal mission for me, is that, and I said to you from the start, giving back, leaving an impact, and achieving that in 10, 15 years would be ideal. So yeah, it's kind of just scaling eGrowth Media, investing into property, keep building that network, and then ultimately having a happy life. That's that's the goal.
Wow, I like that, because for some reason I believe that you don't have to follow money. You have to add value, and the money will come as a result, and the happiness and the fulfillment, success, everything will come as a result of what you're doing. That's great. That's great to hear from you, a young man with this kind of vision, or young person. Now we have to be very careful how we use the word. So, yeah, so young person with very successful view. You still like in the first stage of your life. So you
Yeah,
still have 40, 60 years of success. And I believe your commitment to help yourself, help your family, help Tanzania will keep pushing you.
yeah,
Myself, I've got a lot of vision to do a lot of stuff. That's why I do this kind of live talk. So I
yeah,
learn from people like you and the many people making change. Then I start building myself and build whoever wants to make change.
sure.
Yeah. So now
But
you, sorry?
said it's so important that you focus on serving as many people as you can. That is
Mhm.
ultimately where money comes.
Yeah, that's how it is. We like before we demand something, we have to add something to it.
Value, exactly.
Mhm. Yes. So my last question to you before you go is that young entrepreneur
Yeah,
with a lot of distraction around you,
yeah,
you had to challenge the way life is, the way some people made life to be, not the way life is.
yeah,
And and you still have, and you will have a lot of up and down.
yeah, yeah,
So I've got two questions. One is what keep you moving, and
yeah.
what's your advice for young entrepreneurs?
Yeah. So what keeps me moving? It's a case of, look, I didn't go to university. I didn't go down the traditional route. I'm spending this time now building the foundations for later life. And if I don't put the work in today, then I'm not going to benefit tomorrow. And ultimately, the only person responsible for that is me. If I don't hit the heights that I want to hit, then I've got nobody else to blame. It's not a job that I didn't have. It wasn't the university. It's all down to me. So thinking about the bigger vision and thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I getting up at 7 in the morning? Why am I staying till 8 o'clock at night? Why am I doing this? There is a bigger purpose for that, and that is to achieve financial freedom, is to help people, and is ultimately to leave a mark on the world. So that's what keeps me moving, 100%. And then the second question, advice for young entrepreneurs, I would say avoid shiny object syndrome, right? So what I mean by that is we see all these fads, and well, not fads, there is people making money from it, but we see all on social media, it can be a very good and a bad place. I mean, yes, I use it for business, but do I actually love social media? I would say no. And the reason I say that is because I see so many young people, not just boys, but girls as well. We see this image of a perfect life on Instagram where everyone's making money by 23, all these girls are models by 24, and we see this lifestyle that we want to have, but for a lot of it, it's not attainable or not there and then. So I would avoid seeing all stuff like Amazon dropshipping, Amazon, FBA, all these different avenues that people chase and then try a little bit but don't go 100% on it. If you're going to do it, focus on one thing 100% and just go for it. Don't dabble in a lot. Don't because people dabble in for it. People dabble in all sorts, right? So all I would say is focus on one thing. Avoid that shiny object syndrome. Because we've all done it. We've all seen it. Is it going to be property? Is it going to be stocks? Is it going to be e-commerce? And all these things that are around us and pushed it. If you are into entrepreneurship, you'll see the ads, you'll see the content. You think, why is that not happening to me? And I've struggled with this before, and I've taken social media detoxes, simply because it has affected the way I operate and the my mental state. So all I would say is, just keep pushing, focus on one thing. And also, this is not a race. Life is a marathon, right? Some people get rich at 50, some people get rich at, there's that YouTuber that I saw the other day. I think he was like a young guy and he's already made like 20 million reviewing toys. Everyone,
Yep.
everyone is in their own time zone, right? Just because you're in a job now doesn't mean that in 10 years time you're living your best life. You've got your own business, you're successful. Yes, I've started young. Some people might start later and then end up earning more money than me, but I'm not worried about that. I'm on my journey, and I'll just carry on with that regardless of the noise around me. And it's a hard thing to do, but ultimately you need to do it.
Mhm. Wow, that's another good advice for everyone who is planning to make move in life. Because the one thing I believe is that I'm enjoying it with myself. I don't have adversary. I don't have no one. I'm not in competition. I'm just doing my best to move myself. So
Yeah,
if you're watching us, we had a Joe, and he is a social media marketer and entrepreneur. Very wise, has a clear direction to where he wants to go, with a lot of energy, power, and inspiration. If you join us, thanks for your time. We will be back on Sunday with interview in Portuguese, so we will be exploring more ideas to make change. And if you don't speak Portuguese, maybe great chance for you to speak Portuguese. There's no skills in my platform. So, Joe, it was good talking to you, and I look forward to bring you back in the future
yeah,
to share with us your journey to success and the success you made with your new business, eGrowth Media.
yeah. No,
Thank.
I'll definitely come back once I hit that once I hit that figure. I'll be back.
Okay, okay. I will call you back. I will ask you, Joe, where's the figure? Share with me.
Yeah, exactly. Keep me accountable.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Brilliant.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for all the good information you shared with us. Continue doing the good work. Okay.
Thank you very much, Edmar.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Well, as you see, we had a good time with Joe, and we promised to come back Sunday with another good interview. Someone will be sharing with us all the business success and the life journey to help us, to inspire us, to teach us to make change in our life. So I do the same thing to you. Continue moving. I know COVID-19 is pushing a lot of people back, but push COVID-19 back, push life back, because that's how it is. If you don't stand for yourself, who's going to stand for you? Thanks for watching. Thanks for being with me. I look forward to see you on Sunday.